Mhm.
Was it a long rest or a short rest?
Short rest because
It
it
was a
was
short rest because we
'cause
had
we yeah.
fought. We had long rested shortly before fighting
Yep.
Zedius. So we finished a short rest, and as we um, yeah, as we were getting ready to move, we heard crash and a scream, and when we checked it out, there was a very pitch black and sudden darkness that had begun to fill one of the rooms and tried to run off with one of the kobolds. Um, Thankfully, Godric summoned some daylight, which made these things considerably easier to fight and kill. Uh, Ulvius called them Umbrageist, although the kobolds said they had never seen them before. We went back to the library and tried to have a conversation, all of that in air quotes, with the Mind Flayer after Torek had a conversation with Yvist about the town. Yvist had dropped the bomb that he's got something, and when we were able to search his place, we found a very strange room that had sort of like a gazebo built into it with all kinds of eyes and magical energy, with a key of some kind floating in there. A newly returned to life Ulvius uh, grabbed the key and looked into it, did some magic, and uh, there are two more somewhere throughout Ulurith, and all three are needed for a single lock. Mel found the Mind Flayer's diary, if you want to call it that. No reference at all in it to a compendium, but it apparently was here looking for the Netherese Arcana Fundari scrolls, the basis of their magic. Mel also received some sort of vision for Mistra and mentioned Thara's Dune. Um, we're not sure what the exact connection is, only that the there may be some sort of connection between Thara's Dune and this place, but there's nothing that is at all clear. Um, I'm not even sure the vision was specifically for this. I don't remember, and I did not write down because Torek didn't experience it. Uh, Whether the reference to Thara's Dune in the vision was actually tied directly to Ulurith or not.
No. Um,
Yes.
well,
No, yes.
it, what was it that like Thara's Dune was not in or around Ulrith, but it was given the sense that his presence was creeping into Ulrith somehow. Correct?
Kind of hit that midpoint, like there is an influence in occurrence. How do I simplify? You're overthinking it.
There is
um,
some tie between Ulurith and Thara's Dune, even if it was not initially part of Ulurith's construction. It is definitely there now.
there you go. That's precisely
There we
that's
go.
Yeah, yeah,
it.
But we spoke to Yvis some more. They claim to both know where the phylactery is and to want to see the Lich destroyed. We decided overall that it was still a bad idea to let Yvist out and that we were going to explore the town some more. So went. We are headed back. We headed back, not are headed back, to the top of one of the towers where we found the portal, where we fought some gargoyles, I believe, and are
Also,
headed
Big Bird.
through. Yeah, also the rock. And we went through the portal. That's
Yeah. Um,
or we're about
so
to either way.
yes, I've put you through. Uh, Godric had kind of peered through here a day or so ago, and had seen what is a street that you are on currently. It has some remnants of walled buildings. You do see that wherever you may be within the city feels more protected, in that there seems to be a little bit more of the building, more building here that has remained intact. Age seems to have touched this just as much as any other place, but you see a lot more cleared dust. You see a lot less rubble, and a lot more in piles and heaps in different places. Um, Swaths of rubbish, actual like garbage and things rather than um, only dismantled pieces of kind of like the shell of the city. Like there seems to be a little bit more meat where you are now than where you had been previously. And in the particular area you have arrived, there are, you can see these like figureheads on some of the buildings and walls. Um, they are there. They appear to be carvings that are kind of demonic, kind of gargoyle, that all have wide open mouths that have like a darkness sort of swimming within it. A lot of them, though, like four, five of them that you can see, have sustained significant physical damage, and many of them are hardly recognizable, as if they've been like struck or broken. But that is where you are presently. Also, those of you with passive perception over over a 13, you kind of feel a chill in the air, and there is like a wind that sort of blows over you that feels nippy and kind of cold.
Can we see past any of like the buildings to the edge of wherever this place is? Like
Uh,
in can we see it in relative to, like, are we above?
you
Does
kind
it
of
seem?
you would probably need to go high on this, like where you are currently, to kind of look
Right.
around. You don't immediately. I think actually, no, yeah, you would need to be above a building before you could make that conclusion. Oh, you know what? I will say this might be effective, to kind of communicate that a little bit. To what is quote unquote north on the map, there is another like great gray wall, as there had been previously, that sort of marks these rings of the city.
Okay.
Well, already we've got 2 doors.
You see over here, there is this actually is a great door that is on a like structural wall, like a not a shush, like a gated community, but with a very large wooden doors here that are barred, as you from, well, yeah, you can probably see light coming through that would indicate that there is a weight closing it on this side.
Speaking of putting this to bed, I will be right back.
Okay. And you see down this way, Haza, there is some writing that has been worn, but still has something scrawled above the door of that building over here. And then, yeah, okay, I guess this would also be down here. is the oh, never mind. I have to look that up 1 second. If you wish to hit a different entrance first, you may. Or direction, I suppose.
Yes, this big.
And give it a look first.
Is it barred in any obvious way?
Yeah, so you can see that on the other side of the door through some of the gaps, it's not a perfect seal, it is just a free floating door. You can see that there is a heavy weight locking it barred in place on the other side.
Well, unless we've got some trick for that, we're going the other way.
I mean, I could potentially have a trick for that.
If it involves teleporting, that doesn't work very good here.
No, it does require spellcasting resources, but I have plenty.
I mean, what are you potentially trying to do?
Well,
Got an open door spell?
the hinges are on like a stone wall, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna stone shape like one of the sides of the hinges
Oh yeah, you
off
did.
away. Just take the stone and put it somewhere else.
You would have to do that at least twice. Unless there's something
On
in the
one
spell that.
side.
Yeah. Just it would at least be twice, yeah.
Oh, because it's thick and it got it. It's connected at 2 points on the
Yep.
left side or whatever.
Yeah, further than 5 feet, I suppose. Yeah, because it's on a wall.
Yeah.
Eh,
Or we just go the other way past the ominous statues and see if it loops around here.
Those are, correct me if I'm wrong, those are the gargoyles that you said it looked like somebody had like purposefully damaged them.
A few of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This
I'm
close
sorry,
to the door, you all feel the cold air coming through the cracks in this door.
this door here.
Mhm.
I mean, I could always just torch it too.
Mm.
That would mean it burning, and fire is chaotic. So
Well,
we
for
may
now,
want
we
to
know that
avoid
it's
that.
sealed behind us if we keep going.
That's fair. Should we finish the job on the gargoyles before they attack us?
Probably, yeah. I mean, they could just start throwing air at him.
I'll shoot one.
Okay.
One of the ones that has not been purposefully defaced.
Yeah, sure. I will not make you roll. You were able to hit this target. It does not move. It is only a head that on impact there is a streak of blue light in its seam and the whole thing crumbles and it dies. Well, not dies. It collapses and is broken.
Okay, well, not
Well-
a creature, but definitely something.
I mean, I guess we destroy the others, or do we want to try to communicate with one of them?
Uh,
Is a head.
You know,
yeah, Olvius, go ahead.
before we do that, I got something I'd like to try on this big door over here.
Okay.
Very long story short, I'm reading the description for Unseen Servant, which I will populate,
Okay.
right? The servant springs into existence in an unoccupied space on the ground within range.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't say I have to see the spot. It just says
Sure
it
don't.
has to be within
Mhm.
range,
Fascinating. Okay.
right? So if I have it spring into existence, if I get close to the door, have it spring into existence on the other side of the door and instruct it to try and unlock the door,
Yep.
right?
Then the only thing it'll be hindered by is its own physical limitation. That is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Then
if there's
yeah,
a lever or a something,
right. Like if it's an actual lock that requires a key, it's not going to be able to do anything. If it's just if there's just a bar across the interior keeping, then we'll see whether or not
Lift
my
it.
valet can lift it.
Okay. You murmur your spell, fingers running over embroidery, and after a moment you feel like the presence form and the tap of shoes upon stonework, and you hear this person begin to walk around. You hear and kind of watch the door shake as impact is made against it, and you can kind of see the light change as the bar above is jostled, but it is not removed. A little bit of stepping, but nothing else that sounds productive
So,
or result in the door opening.
all right. No, well, look, you tried your best. That's all anyone can ask. While you're over there, you you see anybody or anything walking around in there? Shake the door if you do.
Silence.
All right. Thank you.
Do you just leave him?
Yeah,
Nice.
Mhm.
he'll be gone soon enough. I mean, I don't know that I've got any option.
That's a good point.
You could order it to walk 70 feet away from you, and that would force the spell to end.
Oh well,
That's fucking
actually, I'm
crazy.
gonna walk 70 feet away from it. So
Mhm.
Okay.
merciful.
I will let it contemplate its existence for however
Mhm.
long it takes me to move 61 feet.
Before you banish it to the liminal space. Okay, that leaves Gargoyle Hallway. Shoot them all, or try to interact with one of them.
Yeah, I can keep shooting.
It seems safe, probably.
Is the closest one like which is the first one that is undamaged? Or that is that is damaged.
First one damaged would be the one that is here, and this.
Okay. Then I will
And I
definitely shoot
presume
the
whatever one you
closest.
yeah, whatever one you shot, I would assume would also be close, so we can say like
Yeah.
this one's crossed off as well.
Okay. I just want to take a look at it before I keep shooting. I'm
Sure, if you want
familiar
to.
enough with traps. This is a thing I can do and spend a feat on. Maybe get a sense on whether these are traps or whether these are something else. I mean, I'm fine to keep shooting, but it's
All right, so you're approaching. Is that correct?
yep. I'll get to about. Well, I'll be against the wall because I want to pick up whatever I blew off the head, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. So the what remains here is practically unfinished, like unusable, since you're an incredible marksman. And you do kind of see that it did falter in an odd way. You can roll me an investigation check. I will. Technically, or your advantage in this instance does not function.
That's for secret doors. 21.
Okay. You can see that this is actually carved now, and it makes kind of sense why when you struck it, it kind of exploded. This is certainly made of that same magic dust that at one time was stone, that chardelin material. In what looks like a good quantity of this thing, and in what you could joking, or I guess colloquially call the wound from impact, is still sort of like steeping a very, very fine pale blue mist. This does appear to be an object. It is not a trap, but this damaged one you might not be able to get any more out of.
Well, they're Chardalon, but I don't think they're a trap. They may not be good. They may not be great for us, but I don't think they're like gonna. I don't know. Probably still safest to shoot them off, right? I will back up. I will hand over the one that I am holding to Ulvius. Take a look at it. Does it look magic? It looks like it's that magic dust stuff.
All right. Yeah, I'll see what I can figure out.
I'll say that if you want to use Identify, you're going to have to use it on something that is whole. This
I
broken
will-
one will not give you enough information.
All right. Looking at it, I will relay that to Torek. Maybe don't shoot one of them. Oh boy, I guess I'll.
I'll just cast Detect Magic with a spell slot.
Okay. I think they're technically out of range, so I'll need you to walk up.
I'm also going to be making sure to stay near everybody who's investigating this stuff.
It's a range of
Keeping
30 feet.
myself within 10 feet
so
of everybody.
That'll get me to that one, which isn't destroyed.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, the structure of it is magical. Obviously, the whole place here is magical. This thing has its own unique aura. Divination magic, actually.
Divination. There's some sort of detector or sensor. Could be to open the doors for us, could be to alert someone else. I think the second one is probably more likely than the first. Although, this is a hell of a lot of detectors. I mean, depending on the range, those ones down at the end of the hallway may have spotted us already.
Yeah. Is it possible that these are detectors that are hooked up to some other magic that we can't see that do something bad?
I mean, anything's possible.
All right. Well, if
Well, just keep trashing them.
sure,
We're not living. We're not living here. We're not moving in.
excellent point.
I'll just blam, 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 blam.
All right.
A few minutes later, after my ears stop ringing,
Mhm.
so you think I'm good to go open one of those doors now?
Yep, probably should
Yep.
be. I'll go with you just to keep a lookout.
Right, want to try that one? Oh, hold on, sorry. I
Mhm.
don't default my doors to locked, and I really should. You go to this building that has something carved on in a sign above the building itself. The door is closed, and you can tell that it is um, jammed. Specifically, you can tell physically that it is stuck. Unlike the gate that had a very heavy bar on the other side, you might be able to break through this physically.
Can I read the
Yeah.
sign? I've been able to read some of the other signs before.
This one would still be in the Draconic script, but you can tell by the age and also the fact that you don't understand the words written that this is definitely Netherese the original signage.
Got it.
Okay, I'll try to bust this door down.
Roll me an athletics check.
1 second. Let me check something.
I got a crowbar. Fuck!
I'm just gonna. No, I'm not gonna waste a channel divinity on this. I don't make very
Why
many
not?
checks, but because I don't feel like I need to. It's a door, and I've got a +9,
But
and
what
I
does
only
your
have 1 channel divinity.
what does it
It
do?
gives me advantage.
But that's what it's for.
Yeah, or I save that resource for my other channel divinity, which is generally more useful.
Okay. Okay. You feel the wood begin to splinter under your weight. The first jostle, it does crack, but just giving it another hard shove, the full door folds in on itself. 24 is then as a feat of strength. Uh, the building in here has a center column that reaches to the ceiling. The column itself is marked from the top to the bottom in draconic runes that do appear to be, again, Netherese specific. And walking into the room, the kind of like little glow your halo gives off, you're able to see something painted on the walls in something dark and old and perhaps at one time red is a like hand painting of a spiraling spined serpent around the walls of this room. And in the northern part of the room, you see a couple more of the gargoyle demonic, like the demon faces on the wall. And walking into the building actually initiates a light sequence from the ground. And you hear sort of garbled from the pillar itself, "Welcome to the Key Compendium."
I just like turn back, and it looks like there might be some more gargoyles in here, and the pillar is talking.
I heard compendium. This is what Yavist was talking about.
Cool.
This is
Hey, hey, GM, does that big spine serpent evoke any imagery of something that has been mentioned to me recently?
To you walking in, having received a visual vision, yes.
Oh, gods, no.
I mean, I'm not generally a fan of blood paintings either, but
I mean, but you know.
I assure you I do not.
Maggie, take inspiration.
Well, Torek,
if I put my hands on this column, does anything happen?
You put your hands on the column. You can feel there is magic dense enough here to be like pushing through in the atmosphere. But it does not do anything
Sorry,
if you
you
interact
cut
with
out.
it. Oh shit! Can you hear me?
Yeah, you cut out it. You can feel magic, and then I couldn't hear anything.
Okay, you can feel like the atmospheric pressure of dense magic as you go in to touch the stone, but on contact, it does nothing. Let's see. Ulvius over here, you can see what appears to have been the remnants of a study area, like a desk and like operations space.
Mhm.
Also some corpses. Very, 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 very old corpses.
I should still have detect magic up since it lasts for 10 minutes. I'm assuming that just about everything is still
You have to squint to see things physically.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, can I ask the pillar, what are you?
You do not hear a response.
I will try asking in Draconic.
There is still no response.
Okay. Well, it was worth a try.
Mhm.
Actually, when it spoke, was it speaking common?
It sounded like like not only did it sound fractured, but it sounded like a very peculiar and certainly one you've never heard pronounced a dialect.
Say, Toric, why don't you try that again after I try this little enchant on you? And I will cast tongues.
Do you try again?
Compendium, can you understand me? Can you hear us? Will you answer our questions?
The stone faces on the north side, their eyes light blue, and coming from their maws, in sequence, there is said answer uncatalogued, and that is understood to you in clarity.
Oh. Okay, well, we figured out what those things do. Probably shouldn't have done what I done. Oh well.
Oh, those are the those are the
Those are the sensors.
Librarians.
no, the like panels that Yvis was talking about that were spread across the city, but a bunch of them were destroyed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, not
Right.
a use. Not a thing I would have described as a panel, but
Or an
well,
interface of
what
any
do-
kind.
What
yeah.
do I know? I think I might have gotten myself stuck in a wall. No, there we go. Okay. Compendium. Oh God, there's so many questions. Okay, somebody, what do we need to know first? Because I have too many questions.
Answer uncatalogued.
Right.
That's on me. That's on me.
Guess it's good to test how broad. So asking for like a more comprehensive map, right?
Compendium, is there a map of this city anywhere available?
There is briefly displayed in the maws of the demon faces a round diagram of a city, as very much its original structure it ought to have been.
So
I don't have a
kinda.
map for that because that would not be useful to you in the state you are currently in.
It's not like I'm going to remember it in 5 minutes. I mean, I have my cartography tools, but that would take way
oh,
more than this
hey.
spell is going to last, so...
Ask it about Yvist. What Yvist is.
Compendium, tell me everything you can about Yvist, and I will translate any of its answers.
Okay. Let me pull up my notes to see if there's enough things here to share accurately. Let's see. Citizen recognized as Yvist, called what was the title that she had? Let's see. Oh, simply counselor. Okay, all right. Called counselor to High Mage Vrake, Fanzin. Wow, can't say my own names.
Mm.
Fanzin's council circle. There are a number of co-workers who have described her as charismatic, a joy to work with, and would recommend for further projects. No authorship towards major construction or arcane facility on record.
You said she helped design this place, but they just didn't give her credit. I mean, that's not shocking.
And nothing about Yvist being a demon, right?
Well, I mean,
Ask it
this
about
thing knows what they told it. It knows what they said. This isn't like complete encyclopedic knowledge, if I'm understanding
that's
what
fair.
you just said correctly. Compendium, do you know what kind of creature Yvist is? Doesn't hurt to ask.
Visual records, dark-haired human woman.
Right. We know it's not foolproof.
Yeah.
Mel nods.
All of this is their knowledge through their lens, through their eyes. So somebody summoned her, but didn't tell the compendium about it, and everyone else just saw what they saw. Compendium. How did Ulrith come to be stranded here upside down?
Ooh, let me look at my notes because that's something I have written down. Okay.
The
There
city
is some-
tried a sick kickflip and got stuck on this fence.
There is some broken narration of what is displayed in visual in the maw of this of the statue in like flickering images and definitely illusions that are warped and but given a clear enough image that you can follow this story. The details come in from people who are trying to input this information as the city is falling, and there is short recounts, like personal accounts of people like yelling into these machines for the record and for assistance, as the as unexpectedly the city itself began to descend, and that there was procedural alert notification for everyone to return to their homes as quickly as possible, um, uh, and that the High Mage Circle was called into the and it is reported the Mythalar, um, for its piloting. And you see some visuals of the sky and clouds spinning wildly out of focus. You also hear a like personal account from someone who tried to get the last bits of possible information out in their final moments, kind of talking about how the high circle of mages is nowhere to be found, and that let's see what names are listed. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Dana. Faxon. Dana Faxon was tasked with ensuring that as many people as were out in the streets in the lower cities were instructed to move inwards towards the inner circles of the city. When the city itself fell, gravity was pulling it, but there was also there's logs detailing that we would kind of conceptualize as power sources were broken and fluctuating. So one of them turned on while the others were unable to function at all. The whole thing pivoted and flipped as it was crashing towards Toril. Many people were then immediately killed, presumably, from whatever like visual records kind of are there. And as it was falling into the Anarok below, the physical barrier, the magical barrier over the top of the city allowed it to like impact on the on that shield first, and then the entire structure began to push itself using these remaining engine pieces and tunnel downwards into the sand just by force. And the demonstration is kind of terrifying to watch as you see these statues where they are tracking some information about people being flung from the streets and out into open sky and certainly towards the earth. And then this force field becoming opaque as it crashes into the sand and everything goes dark as like your ears are sort of filled with the roar of sand being pushed away and around, and then eventually finding a break in through basically like Underdark, where the structure now resides. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this Dana Faxon, the one they sent to try to save the citizens, must be some sort of relation to our erstwhile lich. I think Vist said his name was Vrake Faxon, right? Compendium, tell me everything about Vrake Faxon. And I will once again narrate.
You said Vrake, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. You see visuals and light narration of the arrival of the Faxian house to Ulurith and its construction. They were from the Empire and were moved into the city as high mages and as high mage representatives. The Vrake is a couple generations into the family's establishment with Ulurith. Let's see. See. Yeah, the youth of their family grow, bond with the community. They become very like social, and so when one member of the bloodline, Vrake, starts to flex what very much is just apparently political influence, he is very easily let's see the people of the city are very easily swayed by him. He's a very pleasant individual. You see that he's kind of got a bit of a sunburnt face in appearance, but sort of dark red hair that almost is a like rich brown, but kind of gives him this pleasant look of like someone who looks very unlike people you typically see. He's kind of an interesting presence, and amongst some of like his family, he blends in very comfortably. But amongst some of the people, the Netherese of Ullerith, as they were being established in this community, he kind of stands out a little unusually. Um, uh, there's a brief indication of the education that he received. His political work. He became a community member and well beloved. Let's see. He also, it is documented that he was involved in what was recognized on a couple of occasions as political enemies kind of being deposed, and folks who spent a lot of time getting in good with his family received like favors and preferential treatment. Let's see. And he began establishing his campaign towards the Mage Council for Ullerith. And upon election and presence on the circle, or within the circle, he began to nominate other acquaintances of his that were either related to him or companionable, including Yavist. Yavist is a member who is called to that number.
Sorry, you
Uh,
cut out there again.
oh.
Nominating people to the council, including
Yves.
Yavist. Yep.
No, I got the name. I'm sorry, like people he knew. I think.
People that he's bringing
Yeah.
into the high mage circle for the
Okay.
city. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Let's see. I have to cut out things that this thing doesn't know.
Yeah, I bet
yeah.
there's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. He also, upon his establishment in the like government of the city, recommended or campaigned for Ullerith to travel south and into the eastern deserts, because he knew of a resource there that he thought would be a boon to the city and to its fundamental goal of becoming a information and resource gathering hub. And one of the things that was found, or the thing that he sought and that you can see the excavation of, was the entirety of the crypt of Hithak, an ancient lord, an undead creature that you can see is very apparently a like living mummy lord in the imagery that you're shown, and there's a like political video joke. There is visual evidence presented to you of Hithak and Vrake greeting each other in person and shaking hands. And I'll spell that for you. Let's see. The campaign, the story goes on to talk about Vrake's successful campaign
Max,
as
can I ask one clarifying
Yeah.
question real quick? You described Hithrak as like a mummy lord looking thing.
Yeah.
Is that like, would that have been like an official title, or is that just a physical description?
I think that I think that would be the physical description.
Gotcha. Thank you.
He
Yeah.
is lordly and is a mummy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in D&D, I have to use mummy as the term, as a
No, you're right.
mummified living thing.
Absolutely. That's why I asked.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Appreciate it. Thank you. So kind of more demonstrations of the campaigns that are all illustrated to be very much for the support of the people and for educational like fulfillment. There's a couple of other small excavations where the results of those excavations aren't really delved into in this broad history you're asking for. But the information sort of ends with saying last known location would have been within the citadel called to the Mythalar. And because you're seeing this like whole list, I'm going to give you names of persons of interest. So including you got Dana and then Histhak and let's see. Let's see. Yes, this individual, Kaisal Javolt, would have also been recognized as a. That would have been a person whose face would have kept coming up as like a close friend and companion to Vrake through the campaign, through his life.
Oh boy. Sounds like our buddy Vrake is the worst kind of charming and intelligent. Move in, took over. Possibly still here.
All right.
This thing will know if, where it's phylactery. I doubt it. I mean, judging from these pictures, it doesn't even know he's a lich. If he is the lich,
Oh,
it's possible that whatever's I mean, Yuvista's telling us he's the lich, but
well,
we got other names. We can ask about other stuff. What are we thinking?
Trying to think of a question that would actually. If the lich was somewhere, where would it be? Where is a power hub, or where is a?
I mean, unless Vrake himself put that knowledge into the compendium, I don't think anybody who survived is going to know where he is. You know what I mean? This
See,
is only
it's-
things that people told it.
So, like a likely spot, then, right? A place where a lot of power would be gathered.
Compendium. Where's the Mythalar?
The Mythalar is kept within the core of the city under the Lord's Palace.
So,
Thing is what it's what powered the city when it was functional. I don't know if it is. I doubt it. Only because I guess if it was, we'd still be digging, right? Are we still digging? We hear
You're
rumbling
not.
every now and then, right?
Yeah, you're not digging, but you have seen the like windows to the surface that this giant arcane device has been punching through into the desert.
well, okay, so there's a palace on top of the Mythalar thing.
Yep.
As far as a place for a ruler to be, that feels
I
plausible.
mean, yeah, it's literally the
Yeah.
beating heart of the city.
Yeah.
Heart and brain, I guess. Well, I
I
guess this
mean,
might be the
if you were
brain.
gonna set up shop anywhere, right, you would. Well, I guess not just tactically. If you were the ruler of this city, where would you be?
Um, hey, Torek, could you maybe ask about the. She sort of gestures to the walls, the Tharizdun imagery in this room. Mayhaps.
Yeah, I can do that. Compendium, tell me all the links between this place and Tharizdun.
You get a brief history of the worship. Like it's maybe it's okay. In some of the information that is relayed, this is pieced together from disparate sources, and this intelligence is smart enough to be able to draw those connections for you and gives this little package to you, which is to say that at approximately the time that Histak and Yavist had been um, placed within the high count, the high, bleh, the mage circle, the mage's circle, um, there were spottings and occurrences of what was recognized as cult activity with iconography related to Tharizdun. Um, and then after the city fell, those who remained and kind of petered out pathetic lives, uh, those cults took victims of those survivors. The little flares and occurrences of what would have been described as entire madness resulted in occasionally death of some of the survivors, but there were like altars and occasionally sacrifices intentionally made to a god of madness or spirit of madness, begging for not only escape but freedom and relief. Um, it there was a little bit of a boom at the incurrence of breaking his official power, and then and then a living, thriving community for worship after the fall of the city and after the apparent sacrifice of anyone in opposition.
Oh, well, that doesn't bode well now, does it?
Part of this was driven by what was recognized as a paranoia, because occasionally people would just drop into the street screaming and writhing and then be dead, or would fall into an alleyway where darkness covered them entirely and they would be heard struggling before collapsing entirely and never and not being able to be woken.
Um, just so I'm clear, that description that you just gave, that some citizens would fall into a street that was suddenly covered in darkness and then never be seen again. Does that sound like what just happened at the beginning of last session to us?
Yes, in the descriptions that some of the survivors like threw back into the compendium as they pittered about,
Mhm.
that's as close as you can relate. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
hmm
Well, that explains why there's not a whole lot of survivors. I mean, this place should have been full of human or human descendants. I don't think we've seen a one so far.
Yeah, no, closest thing we got was at the Zagutmoy cult. There were some humanoids there, I guess. Right? There were like some elves in there in the
Yes.
mix.
Yeah, there were certainly humanoid abductees in the ruins. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's to say if they're strictly alive or not? Not me.
Mhm.
That's between them and their god.
Ironic for you to say that if they're not dead, it's not up to you.
It isn't. It's up to your god. And
Your god has some
Zugunmoy.
business with it, technically.
So
We got some time left on this spell, but I don't think we should linger here too long. There are so many questions. I mean, trust me, I would love to stay here for. I mean, until I have heard everything that this compendium can tell me. But we got anything else we really want to know? Wait, compendium, did Histhac survive the fall of the city?
You
I
know
feel like
what?
he didn't.
Yeah, the device doesn't know. Answer uncatalogued.
Well,
Or ask it who was the last person to interact with it
Oh.
before us.
yeah, that's good. That's good. Compendium, show me the last entry added to you.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's very interesting. You see someone interfacing with the device precisely as you are now, and it is recognizably the same person who has been beside Vrake this time, Kaizal, a like pale-skinned or light-skinned individual with a shaven, clean head, and heavy, thick robes. He's kind of a heavy-set guy, but a little on the tall side, draped in fabric, and he is reporting. Let's see. Oh yes. He reports that the encampment of Shadar Kai appear to be stated for the time being, and he may buy time yet to learn about what they plan to do here, if he's able to figure out further means of communicating with them. But that is the last entry added.
That was not what I was expecting.
yeah, sorry, how long ago did this place drop out of the sky, Torek?
Yeah, can you ask when that or how
Yeah.
long ago that entry was?
I feel like that's two different questions, but
Well,
to
yeah.
answer, compendium, when was the last entry added?
It gives you a precise time of day, but it is indicated as approximately 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
Huh.
Oh. Oh.
Should we verify if time works the way we think it does in here? Like relative to whatever normal time is? Because other stuff has been weird. Like,
compendium, how long has it been since Ulrith fell to the ground?
It,
For
it
us, I was gonna. For us, if the answer is something like 3,000-ish years ago, 4,000-ish years ago, then that should be about the ballpark, I think.
it's in your ballpark.
Okay, I have no idea if that's actually a valid ballpark.
I think the ballpark is actually like 2,000 or like 1,500 ish,
Mhm.
but I could be wrong. It doesn't matter. The timeline
Yeah.
the timeline scariness that you are all experiencing is appropriate.
So the
Yeah,
time to
it had to
it,
have been long before that.
yeah, and the time to it is about the is, as far as we know, the time in here is the same as the time out there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
3 weeks is 3 weeks.
Yep.
That is
Concerning.
Well, hold on. Compendium. What can you tell me about Kaisel Javolt? I mean, he's negotiating with Shatter Kai, right? That's got to be a good sign. There aren't that many Netherese around right now. I mean, most of them are dead. They're like all dead. It's been there was a group that came back. I don't know, 300 or so years ago, but same thing happened to them that happened to the rest of them.
Is Shatter Kai ringing any bells?
You're welcome to make a history check for you.
I
Although you don't have
see.
personal connection to Shaddar Kai, but
No. I know. I was mostly like asking if I even had a reason to think, because otherwise I would have just asked Torek. What
yeah,
are
go ahead,
Shatter
roll.
Kai again?
And he said that in his entry, he was saying that the Shatter Kai have been satisfied, like the negotiations.
He had satisfied whatever sort of
Okay.
deal he had either documented
Yeah.
previously or whatever.
as far as you could tell, at least.
Kaisal Javolt is a prolific Netherese pyromancer. Let's see if I had any
Netherese, and then you cut out.
pyromancer.
Pyromancer, okay.
Yes.
Is it just me? Like, am I the only
I
one
think
not
it's
hearing
just
this?
you, actually.
Give me
It's that
2
time I think
seconds
I
to
heard it right.
disconnect and restart.
Okay. Welcome.
Welcome back.
For some reason, I'm still rocking like over 100 milliseconds of latency, and I don't know why. All right. Well, whatever.
You can hear me okay, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So he's an accomplished pyromancer. He actually had an established career prior to his uh, employment at Ularith as a high mage. They go through like his credentials of universities he has both serviced and paid to attend, as well as like a number of his books, which are logged as having been the precise number of copies cataloged is listed in the archive in the previous layer. They like go through all of that stupid little information with you. He is broadly recognized as being simply the right hand to Vrake Fanzin through their adulthood. There are personal stories that recount that that those two have known each other since they were children. He is not as well liked generally as his friend has been, but his education and talent stood for himself. He was an engineer involved in the um, uh, engine design, stupid, of the not the Mythalar, but specifically the output engines that allow it to move directionally as well as up and down. The Mythalar just gives it the power to float. It needed auxiliary systems to navigate, but all of those systems are piloted through the Mythalar. And then it also talks about his, I guess his personal accounts that he's been tracking with a clan of Shaddar Kai. That from your stories about a month, or from the story it reports about a month ago, appeared and corrupted a few of the remaining survivors of this city. most of them have been either killed or changed entirely. And as Kaisal kind of concludes, he supposes that many may have been devoured by some of the other things that are still within Ulurith, but that he had promised to provide some land within Ulurith for them to reside while their, as he puts it, their transportation matters are still in dispute. He also notes that he genuinely hates diplomacy and does not appreciate that he is being relegated to this task.
Hmm.
And be partners with the Lich then. Bad business, buddy.
Sorry, he says their transportation issues are worked out.
That he says until the Shadar Kai's transportation problems have been resolved, they have territory in Ulurith, and he designates in his documentation exactly where that is.
Till their transportation issues are resolved.
So all these Netherese are really, really, really old.
Correct.
Yes.
Writing.
So do we even know if the Lich we're looking for is actually not just a really old alive guy? Like,
Mel will stare daggers at Haste.
I mean, it's a good question. It's a
do we?
reasonable question. Nobody. We're sort of dealing with second and third hand knowledge, right?
Yeah,
I
I mean,
suppose, yeah.
if something lived this long, you could probably argue that's not good. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, elves live that long, right? I don't know. Do they?
Do they? I mean, some things live really, really long. So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
look at our companion.
She waves.
So it's not like inherently. I guess if if he's a lich, would he have needed to die? Do you have to die to be a lich?
Um, yes, because you have to put your soul into the phylactery, and that
So
requires death.
if you ask the machine if it is recorded when he died, if that was noted, or
It,
guess like how long has he been a lich?
that's a great question.
I feel like that probably would have been covered when I said, "Tell me everything about
Yeah,
Break
yeah,
this is
that's
true.
fair.
Um, um, should we ask about the Shatter Kai? I mean, we know where they are, kind of. Look, it's Compendium. Can you tell me if the Mythalar is active now? Do you know?
The compendium would be inactive if the Mythalar were no longer in function.
Okay.
The Mythalar has never shut down since its introduction to Ulurith.
Torque,
Wait.
ask it about
Yeah.
other major factions that they're aware of. So the Shadarkai is at least one, right? And we know of a couple that might be too far down the flagpole for them to pay any attention to.
Yeah. I mean, just remember the Compendium only knows what it's told. The Compendium doesn't
Right.
learn things on its own.
No, this would be
Um,
ones that have reached the level of them reporting it, right?
Yeah,
Or them logging it.
Compendium. Who are the major groups in Ullerith right now? That's nothing. It's a weird question.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
question unclear.
Actually, I have a phrase for this: indecent request.
I guess asked differently, who or what are the largest outstanding threats to Ulrith currently within Ulrith?
Okay.
I guess I
Try
can't ask the Torcast to answer it, but
The threats to
Try that.
Ullerith.
yeah, I'm trying to think like what from the perspective of them, right? Of the Netheries who are keeping the log of this thing.
Yep.
Okay. The greatest points of opposition that it records, which does detail its living history as well as its current history, or its known history as well as its current history. That there, for a while, were enough reports to indicate that and it was described as cult of Mistra, were a danger to the safety of the city. There is more recent reports of the tribe of bloodthirsty Shadar Kai, and there was a brief mention that one of the portals had picked up and then transported through the city and into the city a white dragon.
Pale mover?
Holy shit.
Yeah. I bet that dragon's fucking miserable. They
Yeah,
love ice and cold, and it's in the middle of a fucking desert.
uh
Oh boy.
how cold
Poor thing.
well, we've been at least two
Oh,
different places
fuck.
that have had cold come out of them. One downstairs and one
Yep. One right
across
around the
the
fucking
hall.
corner
Yeah.
that we almost opened. Yep.
Well, so I was hoping maybe in that list would be some sympathetic to our fuck shit up plight, but
Oh, hey, ask if
Then
there
they
are any
wouldn't be threats to the city.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Ask if
Compendium. Sorry, go ahead, bye. Yeah,
ask.
go ahead, bye. That's Ted voice, not Cord voice.
I was just gonna say, maybe ask them if there's any surviving members of the cult of Mistra.
Shatter Kai, any Cult of Mistra members left?
Answer uncatalogued.
Worth a shot.
Okay. we
Yeah,
can
I mean,
sort
if they
of-
had been, you would have gotten the answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only other way I can think of to try to figure that out is get a list of names and then ask for the last entry on each one. But I have a feeling a lot of those are going to be pre-cataclysm or pre-fall. I mean, compendium other than Kaisal, Javolt, and Vrake Faxon. Show me the most recent entry from one of the High Council.
Oh, interesting. Okay. You know, this actually would be an entry from Yavist. who, as she appears to you, as she appears in this vision, communicating with the device, um, she's taller than she looks in the building. Probably close to 7 feet tall, and has like very long hair that trails like nearly down to her hips. And she's sort of like putting her hands on the head of this statue and leaning over it to talk to it. Um, and as she does so, she reports that the ceiling has finally been completed, and that if any of the other lieutenants needed to find convenient places for keeping their keys to come speak with her personally. And then she kind of winks and puts her finger to the side of her nose, and that's the end of the entry.
Oh. Hey, yeah, speaking of, can you find the location on the rest of the keys, Torek? Were those cataloged?
But try. I mean, I think that seems like something post fall, but
Yeah,
compendium.
and something that Yvist wouldn't have cataloged.
Hey, worth a try. Where's the happens as I get another indecent answer or question or whatever. Obvious, what was the actual name of those keys? And then I will just say compendium. Tell me about those keys.
I don't think the keys have an official title altogether. Yeah, would have been
That's
cool, huh?
Yeah.
But also the vague, like not only the vagueness, but also not having a name. Yeah,
If
answer uncatalogued, indecent request.
if you want to pull the thread, the one we have is called the Key of Knowledge, at least according to the hint to the mural that would have
Oh,
allowed
yeah.
us to find it. Because the text read, "The Key of Knowledge resides beneath the Ring of Holy Stars," which was the clue to finding it, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In other words, as far as that mural is aware, the Key of Knowledge, we don't know if that's a name or just like a, you know,
We can ask.
yeah.
I'll ask.
Okay. The response that you receive is that the Circle of Stars is a shrine dedicated to Mistra, but there is no information about the Key of Knowledge.
Yeah, uncatalogued.
So, hear me out. We know Yvist made entries. She was one of Vrake's lieutenants. Should we just see what we can find about a lich? I feel like it's a long shot, but all we're wasting is time on Ulvius' spell.
May as well.
All right, compendium. What can you tell me about liches inside Ulrith?
Interesting. The compendium is only able to feed back information about what a lich is, which is only common parlance. It doesn't even so much have enough information to precisely discuss the methodology by which phylacteries are built. Um, but because that is such rare arcane knowledge, um, but it does have the fundamentals that you require souls to feed a phylactery. A phylactery is a cage for souls, predominantly the one living, the one eternal. But those souls within must feed on other living souls in order to continue survival. And so long as that is done and the phylactery remains intact, a lich lives forever.
A lot of useful information in here, and this is something I would love to pore over, but I don't know how much more we're going to get out of it useful to what we're doing now. Although, Compendium, what can you tell me about where the portals in this town, in this city, go to? That's why we're here, right? That's why Lauxius sent us here in the first fucking place.
The compendium, I think it sort of requests that you reword your phrasing a little bit, but is able to demonstrate to you on a, frankly, a very, very, very old map of Toril, precise locations where portals have opened into, as well as then a brief, a summary of locations in other planes it has opened to. And these appear to be partially, and it is explained as intentional occurrences in certain locations. And there's even some like footage of one of these portals opening into a like a dense green thicket that reeks of mulched earth, and a like a little green ambulating plant crawling its way through the portal and into Ulurith, into like the receiving hands of a mage in black robes.
Well, that explains how those Gutmoy folks got here. I think. Anybody else starting to think it's a real bad idea for Lauxius or anyone to have this place? I mean, I've had that thought for a while now, but I'm just wondering if anybody else is starting to feel it.
No, yeah, this place should be evaporated from existence, hopefully without us inside of it.
I don't know. I think I try to avoid making unilateral decisions to police or control something well beyond my power or understanding. So
Yeah, I sort of feel like Godric may be onto something. You know, I mean, unless we're literally going to wipe this entire city out of existence, someone's got to be here. I mean, we came to get Oxius the information about portals. Seems like we've got some of that, and we should gather whatever other cool shit we can while we're here, he says as he continues rifling through the desk that he's been rifling through this entire time.
Yeah, so to cover that, because that will go fairly quickly,
Mhm.
you find a jar that contains the like a sealed pamphlet
Mhm.
Of what you would presume potentially to be either instructions or arcane information. It's very uniform, looks very boring. Inside its little glass container, it's dust free, but there is a good heavy layer of dust on top of the glass.
Okay.
And as for the people's bodies who are over here, they are practically dust, but some
Yeah.
of their quasi magic items,
Mhm.
some mundane utilitarian items for their day to day are still like on their person. They died inside of this building.
Okay. Uh,
Oh shit, is that Nokia?
yeah, I mean, I'll clear the dust off the bottle so I can see what's in it. And the bodies, I'm sure, turned to dust as Ulvius is rifling through what's left of their pockets.
Yeah. One of them does have a very lovely gold chain around their wrist.
Had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, right. The glass jar. Sorry.
No worries.
uh, uh, it still is written in that draconic script that you can't read.
Mhm.
But it does look like it would be pretty easy to pop the lid of this jar and get the paper out. The paper is pristine inside.
Sure, I'll bite. I'll pop that lid.
All right, cool. Yeah, the paper's pristine.
Great. I'll take that and put it in my pocket.
Sweet. It's a little on the hefty side, maybe
Mhm.
an inch thick, but yeah, no big deal.
Great.
Any more questions for your fucked up Alexa?
Feels like it's worth asking about his stack. You're worried about Tharizdun cult. Tharizdun cult shows up right around the time his stack shows up.
Yeah.
All right, Compendium. Tell me everything about his stack. Show me all his logs too, if he left any.
He actually has no logs whatsoever, but he's
Not
documented
shocking.
as being, yeah, an incredibly powerfully the record starts prior to his arrival at Ullerith because he has a lot of documentation about him prior to being here. The common knowledge that is, or quote unquote common knowledge, the knowledge that exists within the archive potentially, um, uh, is that he was an incredibly wealthy, powerful emperor in the southeastern deserts, and he um, dominated small citadels and then enslaved all of the people. He became incredibly powerful, and was a bit. He was not necessarily a genius, but he was divined as being blessed by the gods. And as he became aged, his body was preserved so that he may be within it forever. And his body was partially dissected, and likewise preserved. Um, when he arrived at Ullerith, it was an excavation of the entirety of his crypt that was removed from its resting place and placed in the in within the palace, actually, of Ullerith proper. Um, uh, he is not credited as an architect, but is credited as having entered the High Mage Circle of Ullerith. Is widely publicly acknowledged to be terrifying, but public understanding was that if Vrake honored his decision making and honored his the opinions of this creature, then the people of Ullerith would hesitantly keep their trust within their lord.
Was he Netherese originally, or is he just
He
like
was
a
not,
human
and
birth? Okay.
yeah, he was not Netherese, and I have, I think, in my notes exactly where he's from, and I'll skim that, but not technically important to his presence at this moment. This is a guy with credits in Dungeons and Dragons lore for real.
Yeah, the name sounded familiar.
He's Saruk in nationality, it would appear.
Oh,
Last survivor of the Empire of Istosfithil.
okay, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hate him already.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as much as I'm tempted to ask about who all the other people credited as architects are, You know what? I'm just gonna do that. Actually, give me 1 second. Compendium. Can you give me a list of all the architects of Ulurith?
Yes. Let's see. I will say, for simplicity's sake, since it was built before Vrake was born, the only names that stand out to you, taking note of, is just that Faxian. I'm gonna keep changing the way I pronounced it because I needed to have written it down right the first time. The Faxian family, the Netherese people, Vrake's family, were premier in the construction of it.
Okay, bunch of names. Most we don't care about.
Yes. But yeah, the only thing to take away from it is that in some fashion, he was already kind of teed up for this position of power. It could have been him. It could have been anyone in the family. Just this one guy happened to put in the work, potentially.
All right. I'm sure everyone else is bored out of your skulls. I appreciate you for humoring me. I will probably sleep here for the next few hours, or not few hours, for however many times we sleep. But for now, I don't think we're going to find anything else here that's exceptionally useful to our mission. We do know that if Vrake is the Lich Lord that we've heard about, and maybe he's not, maybe, maybe he's just still alive. I don't know how Kaisal's still alive, but maybe what everyone has thought is a Lich Lord is actually this this mummy, this Saruk mummy. It's, I mean,
What-
really, we're no closer to finding where we wanted to go than we were, but we do know a lot more, which...
What's a Saruk?
Simple answer, the Saruk are one of the old creator races, along with the Fae and a bunch of other along with the Fae, the humans and a couple others. They created most of the life that you see on Faerun. Most of them are gone now. The Saruk, the Batraki, and the Eri, they were all wiped out a long time ago. Thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of years ago. We're dealing with something very, very old, and things that are very, very old tend to be very, very powerful. That's assuming that Hithak survived the actual fall of the city, which I don't know about the rest of you. I'm inclined to believe he did, because it would just be too easy otherwise. We also know that both Hithak's crypt and the Mythalar are in the palace, which Compendium, can you show me how to get to the palace from here? Oh wait,
Yes,
never mind.
it can.
It tries, but half the city is destroyed.
Yes, it does. But I think it does give you a pretty clear map still. Like clear enough that you know that there is a means of entry into the into the inner city. Uh, east of you. And I think my map is kind of fucked up for it, but because you have a directional guide, if you guys ever just say, "Hey, we're just gonna scooch right through to the center circle," then you'll have a means of doing so, and I'll just take you there.
Okay, cool. Hell yeah. Our fucked up Alexa.
Thank you. Should we take our 15-minute break? And if you have other, I don't want to. If you have
I'm
other
trying to
questions,
move us
you
outta
should be
here.
able to get to ask them. I mean, this is kind of, it's culinary, like this is your chance to ask questions, both you, the like historian character, but also anyone else who has thought of something to ask. So, yeah, let's just take our 15, and if there's any other questions, we can go right after, but then we'll hopefully find something to work with. Does that work?
Mhm.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be right back and get else to bed. like to do now?
Much like when I have to ingest a lot of information in real life, I'd like to take a nap, please.
I can't fault you for that. I'm okay if we need to like slow down or something, or figure something out. What
we
what
just
what do you
gotta
need?
go for a wander.
Okay, go for a walk and let things process.
Figure the hour for tongues is probably
Yeah.
up. So
We'll say, yeah.
Get some chalk so we can find our way back to here. Well, sorry, that's rubbing salt in the wound, Ted.
sure
I bet you
is.
had chalk once.
I sure did.
You
That's
know, I
okay.
was.
There's virtually no chance Torek forgets how to get back to this place that holds every answer he could possibly want right now.
My favorite thing is that you were blowing up the interfaces on the outside right before walking in.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Well, you know,
You live and learn. You could have gotten them all.
there'd still be 2 in here. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the thing. Is like I was like, if they
Oh,
come
if
in
I
with
had
guns
blown them up?
blazing,
Yeah, that would have been
Uh,
bad.
been real
Well,
funny.
hopefully we just would have never known what happened.
Well, there's the manual.
Yeah.
Somehow I think that would be worse because eventually I feel like I would be told because like Yves is alive.
Yep.
Like,
Uh-huh.
hey, didn't you find one of those gargoyle things on the walls? Torek just
Yeah, like,
stands there, a single tear rolls down his
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, she'd be like, "Yeah, did you go and find any of those terminals?" And you were like, "No, but like we only found like these stupid gargoyles and shit. We destroyed them all."
Didn't you find any of the gargoyles? Yeah, blew them all up. Oh, about that.
Shouldn't have made them demonic looking. That's all
Right,
I'm
it's a
saying.
style choice. This place had like style. We made real human beings made gargoyles. They're not magic real demons.
Yeah, but
Yeah, well, we
even the
made gargoyles to scare
Okay.
things away.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even
And
the
It's
people who
fun.
made gargoyles made them for
I have a
fun
gargoyle
and
collection.
did not make them into interfaces, though.
Yeah, but they still served a function that wasn't just like being pretty.
And hey, Warhammer 40K exists. There's a whole bunch of gargoyles and skulls in that one that are interfaces.
All right, but that's
Everything over
different.
there is gothic interface.
It's fun. It's stylish. It's culture.
The
Gargoyles.
Mechanicus,
Yeah,
the Mechanicus
gargoyles.
makes everything. Of
Mhm.
course, everything's gonna be weird and fucked up.
Yeah.
All right, so well, yeah, let's just walk out the door. Not destroy any more of these things. We know we don't have to worry about them. Find anything cool over there, Ulvius? Dead bodies and stuff?
There seemed to be some notice or instruction or pamphlet that was preserved in a glass jar, but it's in this strange language, so it'll have to wait.
Oh. I can try if you want, or we can walk. We can just walk. You can deal with that later.
Sure, I'll hand it to you.
Wait, is this the like scroll that was in the bottle?
Yes.
Okay.
It's got the new scroll smell.
Unroll that. See if I can understand it.
It's still in Netherese, so it will require comprehend languages, but it's pretty dense.
Roll that back up. Hand it right back. Yep.
Okay.
Still the same stuff.
I mean, the good news out here is that we now have one door.
The bad
Yep.
news being
Yeah.
there might be a, you know.
So,
Well-
hey, actually, yeah, no, that does make me think of something. one of the things we discovered is that, assuming that Vrake is this lich, or even if it's this Histhak mummy lord fancy pants thing, we know also that Kaisel is around, and we can sort of assume that they're going to be on the same side. We know there are things here that may not be on the greatest terms with them, right?
Yeah,
Those
I mean,
things may be able to help us. Throwing
enemy
that
of
out
my
there.
enemy.
Yep. We know the Shatter Kai. We know that there's a white dragon. There might be other stuff, things that we can talk to, try to get on our side for if there's ever a major confrontation. You know what I mean?
Sorry, what are the Shadarkai?
The things that Kaisel was talking to, the bloodthirsty tribe, as he called them, but they can't be that bloodthirsty considering that he made some sort of deal with them, right?
Y'all can roll history checks if you want to know about Shadar Kai.
I rolled a 14. I did not do good enough.
No,
Whoa.
14. I mean, a 14 would be like the cosmic understanding that they are elves of the Shadowfell.
Oh, I didn't get an answer the first time.
Oh, I don't think you rolled, so
Oh, did I not?
I don't think so.
I think you rolled on something
Yeah,
else
14
later, but not.
history right here.
Okay. Yeah, that 14 history. Yeah, you do know what a Shadar Kai is, though the nuances of their religion probably evade you. That said, I guess Haza, you would have someone who has told you about what Shadar Kai are from firsthand experience, actually.
Hmm.
Yeah. Although I don't think that they ever interfaced very commonly one-on-one with Shadar Kai, but
Yeah.
the lore and history would have been shared. Which would include what Torek would also know, being the peculiars of their relationship to the Raven Queen, and that whenever they are on the material plane, the purpose is to cause suffering.
Charming.
Yeah, it's cute.
So, elves.
Ooh.
Mel will have the hardest laugh she's had in weeks. No, I'm sorry. I've just been underground for so long. That was funny.
I know, it's great, right? Man,
How
it's felt
long
good to
have
be
we
underground.
been underground? A week?
2
I
days.
feel like I'm going insane.
Well, no, we've been here for 2 days.
Oh,
We've been
yeah.
underground for. Two, let's go with 2 weeks. That sounds fine.
I don't think it's been that long. I could go through my notes, find out for
Well,
you.
we came in, we spent a night, we went to the Mind Flayer situation, we went back. We spent like
Okay.
5 days in some tunnels in the middle of there.
It
All the
It has been
traveling.
2 days since Clem led us to the temple. I have on my
Yes.
notes the 29th of Tarsak. Clem led us to a new cavern. Someone put work into this place, yada, yada, yada. That's us getting to the cavern. It is green grass. It has been 2 days.
I'm talking about how long we've been underground. We've been in an
Underground.
underground city and then in a tunnel of some kind for like a month.
Yeah, it has been like a month
We
since
haven't been out in the sky.
we crossed
Hasn't
those.
taken them a month of game time.
It's
Let me open up the first journal.
we spent at least like 4 days sleeping in tunnels. Like
Yeah, we
maybe
we
like
had an a not insubstantial amount of time doing things in the Underdark that
Yeah.
had absolutely nothing to do with
See, but I think we're
this
we're
place.
actually confusing game time and what it felt like as player time, because that was not that long. Hold on, I'm looking it up.
How long ago was it when we went to go bust up some mind flayers?
Because that still was like a few days travel too, right? Or a day
It was like
travel.
two-ish. 'Cause we
Past
slept
the Myconids, yeah.
each time we went to
15th
there.
of Tarsak, we're still up aground. We're on the boat heading to where we go into the Underdark.
Yeah, so that was how long ago?
2 weeks, not a week and a half of in-world time.
Yeah, see, 2
Oh my
weeks. I was close.
No, because the
weeks
21st
underground.
of Tarsak. No, it's been a week. Because on the
Round up.
21st of Tarsak, we found the bright golden fish. We're on the ocean on the 21st of Tarsak.
Really?
24th of Tarsak, we get back onto solid land and eventually under it again.
Huh.
We're docking until high tide.
I imagine Haza and Mel just looking over Torik's
yeah.
shoulder as he flips through the log, just
Yeah,
like
so
Just shaking
exchanging
their
looks
head
of
like,
just
"No."
like, oh my
Ma-
god, I'm
yeah,
going
mouthing-
insane.
Mouthing no
24th
fucking
of
way.
Tarsak is
fucking
when
way.
we go underground and we meet the hag that wants to take stuff, and we end up meeting the halfling.
That's
Just
when
as
we
we're heading.
officially go underground. That's
Danwick Half Moon. Yeah, so 24th of Tarsak. It's been 7 days.
Good God.
No, we're on the 7th day. Yeah.
Wait, how
Okay.
long was the trip to the portal supposed to be? That was supposed to be like, I don't know. I feel like that was at least a day of travel or two.
Torque, are we getting
Ugh.
cavern addled? Is there a medical name for this? Losing track of time because you can't see the passage of time anymore?
I think it's just called being a surface dweller.
Space.
Okay.
Well, it feels like I'm in hells.
Well,
One or many of them at the same time. I can't tell. I can't see outside.
yeah. All right, who's on what? I can't remember in rotation who's getting the next door. I want to say it was maybe Inks had the last door.
I mean,
Oh,
Godric
God.
just opened this one,
Yeah.
so.
That's fair. I was thinking before this. The last time there was a bad door, it might have been Inks.
Yeah, mine was the cold door.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Do we
I got
wanna
this one.
Just to
do
be
this one then?
clear, so me opening that door and instantly dying, that doesn't count as a bad door.
Oh God, yeah. Never mind. You found the worst door.
That was literally like a few hours ago, and you've already forgotten that. You
No,
really are going
no.
mad.
It's that one feels different because we knew it was kind of past that door, and so it wasn't as much a mystery. I mean, it was a mystery in the sense that we weren't expecting an immediate death, and that does recontextualize every door in this place suddenly.
The new
Although-
metric has been set.
Although, to be fair,
Death
we
door.
did know that was always a possibility.
Yeah, but now it's always a possibility.
No, I meant
It
specifically
was always
mind
a
flayers.
possibility.
Cool, I'm
Instant
gonna-
death is
I'm
kind of
gonna
their thing.
Stop and open this door. I'm gonna open this door. Anybody who wants to watch over my shoulder in case.
Nope.
Everybody
I'll
ready?
catch you if you get insta-killed by a mind flayer.
Great, thank you. I open the door, and it's a
Okay.
hallway.
It is a pathway to what appears to be a single building ahead of you with two doors,
Mhm.
one on either side. On this building's door is more of that red painted, but now fairly evidently not just red, uh, painted stretch of like serpentine coiling and spanning of the building's exterior actually. And outside of the building in the like space that you are currently standing in are a number of heaped but entirely, what's the word, I'm going to use the word dehydrated.
Desiccated.
Um, yes, but also specifically dried out.
Isn't that what desiccated mean?
I think maybe it does, but I think
Yes, I believe so.
okay, cool. Um,
Desiccation is just the process of taking all of the moisture out of something, either by
Okay.
time or by force. In either case, you get a desiccated something.
Then that is entirely apt. You are seeing lots and lots of desiccated bodies.
Okay, well, this
Roughly how many? Too
Um,
many to count?
no, not that many. Probably close to a dozen. And all of them are wearing similar but very old and certainly in rubbish repair like garments, all of like long robes specifically.
Is there anything like on these bodies, maybe like old jewelry or like filigree that's not dust yet that is any
Um,
identifier?
let's make an investigation check.
Sure. I'll roll myself some guidance on while
Sure.
I'm picking through. Investigation. Investigation. There we go. Oh, oh, come on, investigation.
With even a 7, Mel, I think given your background, you are able to identify definitely clerical robes, like the people who were garmented here were in an order, and you can see some shared iconography between them, and Haza noting some remnants of tattoos in the dried out skin is able to point out stars and eyes drawn on the backs and palms of some of these people. Um, these are with the 20 investigation, whatever uh, remains of uh, priests of Mistra, specifically like high ranked authorities under her watch.
Yeah, I'll relay all of that. What kind of it's well out of my wheelhouse. What kind of check to see like how they died? Because
I
they could have just been here forever and they dumped them here.
Let's do Arcana or Religion, and Vi, you can roll in on that too. Chorik, if you want to, you're here.
I was kind of just gonna talk to them.
Oh, you can do that too.
So you said Arcana or Religion?
There we go.
Mhm.
Regress to the mean.
Mm-hmm.
I'll roll a 15 in Arcana. I'll throw in a
Yeah,
15 before I.
They got chapped to death, like chapped lips, but so bad they died.
Yeah, I can do that one. It's called Blight.
Chorik, with your religion check, because effectively these creatures were blighted, but the manner by which they probably were was in a the religion check is granting you ritual sacrifice as an important context clue here.
Oh,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that Mistra's not really big on sacrifice of living creatures.
That would be correct. This is
Yeah, this is
these people
this
were
is cult
sacrificed
work.
for their god, not
Yeah,
for Mistra.
not yeah.
Yeah.
Well, looks like we found some of the cult handiwork.
Uh,
Wendium did
yeah.
say that there was cult activity as soon as their wrapped, mummified friend showed up.
Yep, and there is a, you need to feed a phylactery, I guess. That might be it. More souls for the grinder. I wanna speak with one of these
Yeah,
friends.
I would love you to.
Yeah, I'm going to like kneel. Mel's gonna kneel down next to like one of them that looks the most important, probably with some guidance from Haza.
Yeah, no problem. You set down your book and turn to your instructional pages. You feel crypt air kind of blow over the papers, and as your book sort of lights up with green mist, this you are able to ask your questions of a tattooed and like bejeweled former priest.
Uh, I am going to whisper a little prayer of thanks to your goal before looking around at everyone else. Anything you would like me to relay or ask? How did you die?
The spirit with or the force within animates and utters to you in enough common that you can comprehend what is being said, um, which is that we were trapped in our home and marched out to what had been our home place of worship, and it was one by one I watched as the souls of my priesthood were offered. Finally, I was touched by the kidnappers, the foul, fell priests, and I fell dead.
What do the what does the key of knowledge seal?
I have
Or
never
in
heard of a key of knowledge.
how many questions? It's 5, correct?
Yes, and you have 3 more.
I have 3 more. Oh, I hate spells like these. I always feel like I'm gonna waste them. Um, Did you know of any influence from Tharzadun?
Um, he says,
Tharzadun.
I have suspected members of my clergy had been influenced by the spreading madness. Certainly one of them revealed our hiding place.
I looked to Torek. Should I ask about Yvist?
I get. I mean, ask what about Yavist? Do do we know if they were sacrificed to Thars? I guess it sounds like they were sacrificed to Thars, do not to
Er,
not fed to a lich.
no, it seems like they mentioned that they were sacrificed to one of the quote fell mages, the kidnappers. They just
Thought that was
suspect that the
by.
cult was behind it, I suppose.
Oh, I thought they said they were sacrificed by one of the fell mages.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that I get that leans more towards sacrifice to Tharizdun, not necessarily a lich. Those things could be related. Could be the same thing.
Um, I mean, in the uh compendium, she like gestures towards the bodies. They were referred to as a cult of Mistra. Uh, would there be any questions relating to why that is? Why they were slandered, I suppose?
Oh, I'm assuming that the followers of Tharizdun called them that because they think they're the right ones. Same way that we're all referring to the followers of Tharizdun as a cult because, they're a cult. I mean, you can ask.
I have two more
Cult.
questions. Were there any other shrines to Mistra in the city? I mean, how were you able to exist here if they were hunting you?
We thrived in Ulurith at the time of its rising. Most chapels were safe spaces and dedicated to Mistra. It was only in years that followed under Master Vrake's rulership that it became taboo practice.
Oh, do they know of any defenses on the chapel or the Mythalar? I mean, we've got to make our way in there, right? Maybe there's something we should know, or maybe they know of any sort of like relics that might help us.
Yeah. Uh yeah, Mel's gonna ask if there is anything to aid us in getting into the Mythalar or anything rather that any knowledge or artifacts that would aid us in getting in there. Sorry, it's hard to compound the questions to get
Yeah,
enough juice out of.
yeah. Um,
he says that whenever I have been invited to see the Mythalar, the way was opened to me. 3 keys presented, entered into a lock, and then hidden again. If he's been in contact with it, it has always been by invitation.
Mhm.
So he would have been he will not have ever witnessed any obstacle.
And Mel will rest the body back down after the spell ends and chokes out of it and just says, "May your soul find rest." And oh boy, this sucks.
Which part?
Exactly. So we're closer by virtue of knowing that the stones unlock the seal to the Mythalar, I'm assuming. The 3 keys hidden again after being used.
Well, there's other bodies if you have more questions, or we can.
I don't think that if I'm going to be honest, I might want to save some of my energy for other spells.
Fair enough.
I only have the one use of that particular resource without really digging deep, so to speak. So where to next?
We can.
Well, 2 doors. Right or left?
We could always go split 2 at the same time. It's the same building. Breach and clear.
Or some of us can stay out here just in case something comes through that one while we go through one door.
Sure.
I know. Not as fun, but a lot safer.
Okay, this door it is.
As the door opens, a
Well, shit.
little bit of gray smoke sort of crawls down from the ceilings and begins to obscure your vision a little. You hear what feels like breathing coming from the building itself, and you feel compelled to walk in. You also can see certainly what you would think is probably kind of humanoid figures shuffling around in the dark. And you're stepping in.
You said I feel compelled to step in.
Yeah.
I'm at the door.
Yeah, you see these kind of humanoid figures are twisted, kind of standing incorrectly on their 2 legs with extra long appendages protruding from their back, over their shoulders and then under their arms, of which end all arms and extra appendages in fine points.
Ugh,
Their jaws are slack, and there is nothing where their eyes ought to be.
they're just, their whole thing is tippy toes.
Yeah,
Tippy toes all over.
yeah. They don't
Well,
accost you. In fact, as you walk in, and you're just walking in, one of them moves a little bit further away from you.
I immediately like backpedal back through the door. Shut the door. Except I trapped myself in the door.
Okay, I got you.
There we go.
Okay,
there's some things that are in there that maybe not undead. I don't know how the fuck to describe what I just saw.
should we go in there and cleanse them?
I don't know what they are. They didn't attack me. They don't have eyes.
Mel looks at Haza. How big?
Like our side, like bit, like
How scary?
okay. Well,
Like corporeal is a better question.
they
Yes,
seemed
no.
pretty Yeah, they seemed pretty corporeal. They got little
Mel
claws
opens
all
the
over.
door and
You
walks in.
also, yeah, you also feel that breathing happening, and with every like inhale, you feel like you are supposed to take one further step into the building. A couple of these eyeless heads swing in your direction.
Hey, maybe we don't go. And she's in.
There is a thing, I think, on the door that makes you want to walk.
You couldn't have led with that, Haza?
It didn't. I didn't.
Mel will at least try the languages she knows and
Torque is going to go running in after he
Okay.
hears. Oh, God,
Is
if I
there
never
anything
come out,
else in
Haza, I'm
this
blaming
room?
you and haunting you forever.
What did you say, Mel? Or yeah.
in whatever language I can find, I'm going to try and make contact. Hello, what are you doing here? Type of thing. I know abyssal, celestial, infernal, and common.
You hear broken common filtering out through their slack jaws. Lost. Lost.
Would you like
Far
me?
from home.
We're so fast on that, Maggie.
That was so freaking quick.
I'm sorry, Max.
It's
I
just
actually
a sentence, man.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't like
Haven't
a
heard from you in an
it
hour.
wasn't a conscious thing that I did. And I thought I was muted. So
It was funny. Mel's just gonna ask, would you like peace? I can bring you home.
They begin to walk towards you, but they stop a few feet away still. Like this one does not even approach further, but this one moves this way.
Gonna say they get within 10 feet. There's a problem. Okay. All right.
Oh,
Really want to go and see what's around that corner, but maybe we don't do this. I really want to see what's around.
would okay. So I have the thing, right, where under a certain challenge rating, undead just die, right?
Mhm,
When I
mhm.
use turn undead.
Mhm.
Is there any way for me to like get a sense if this would be a sort of painless destruction or it would be a fearful experience?
Yeah, I hear ya. Yeah, let's roll a nature check first. Let's do that first.
With a 10.
Oh.
Okay, here's the thing. DC is not super high because the nature check's actually to determine if they are undead, which they are not.
Huh. Oh.
You can feel that there is a life force within these creatures still.
Uh,
Without looking away from you, this one steps further back, but continues to look at you.
I can send you back from wherever you came from. We're all stuck in this place, and if you want back, I can send you all back.
There is sort of gasps of desperation as they shuffle around. You feel the breathing of the building hitch and choke a little.
That would take if any of them take another step forward towards us.
Torek, it's
None.
okay. Let
Torek is
them.
going to pull out the rapier, and just start waving it back, no, back up.
All of
Torek,
them are a ways and taking some gentle steps back without looking away from Mel.
whatever's got you trapped here, I can circumvent it. Will you let me? You don't have to come any closer. You don't have to take any more steps back.
They kind of just keep non-verbally beckoning, like pleading.
Oh man, I can't do them all in one. I can do them in two. I could just cast banishment and we could not have to worry about them at all.
I mean, or they'll come back in a minute
Yeah,
if
they'll
they're from
just
this plane.
pop back.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, they're not undead, and if I'm not getting the okay to banish them, she shrugs.
What
Not
are
my
these
wheelhouse.
statues that are near us?
These are carved pillars that you can see are uncharacteristically whittled and thin, as if they've been recarved to have jagged edges and like spiraling uh, uh, spiraling curves that move up and down the entire pillar itself. But there are jagged edges. It looks rough hewn, kind of like what would probably happen if you use stone shape, because stone shape doesn't have the detail of like a mason. You can see that stone has been removed.
Okay, okay. Nothing to see in here unless it's around that corner back there, or the other door. Hey, Zut, try the other door.
Okay, gonna walk over the other door.
Mel points to the other door from inside the building. We can see the other door, Torek.
Yeah.
Okay, other
I'm
door.
wondering if the other
Also,
door has the same enchantment on it, Mel.
All right, Haza, you walk in.
Mm-hmm.
Mel, Torek, you do not see Haza. Haza, you see this same room still. You feel the like breath trying to pull you towards the into the building itself, and that gray mist is still dripping down from the ceiling. You don't see Torek, you don't see Godric, you don't see Mel.
okay, I don't see anything over here,
You do see these guys.
but I see. Okay, there's 3 more in here.
I guess the question is, do we see or hear Haza?
You can hear her, but you cannot see her.
Haza, I said try the door.
Yeah, I did. Wait. Whoa. Say something again.
I'm gonna go check out. This place is weird. It's making me feel weird. I want to get
Yeah, the
into
mist.
the back.
The mist seems bad. It's dripping. It's drippy.
Godric, when you walk in with your lit halo, the creature's heads kind of turn towards you, and their pointed appendages cover their face.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay, so do we? I are are we in the same room?
Oh, can you see the other door, Haza?
If I walk in like another step and I turn to look, do I see the other door there?
If you have line of sight upon
Yeah.
it, then yes.
I see what has to be the other door, but it's not because I don't see any of them, but I see these things.
Are they shielding their eyes from the light of Godric's halo or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah. His radiant smile.
Laurel wreath.
Oh, that is right. Yeah.
That are they
Imagery
shielding?
conjured. Okay.
Are they shielding their eyes on your end, Haza?
Are they?
Yeah, you see them gesturing, but you don't see the light that they're hiding from.
Yeah, they're from
Do-
something over there.
So
Did
it's not 3
we-
more. They just exist between wherever we are.
Do we see another one of them moving around as Haza? That is Haza. Like, do we see movement at all over there?
That is so clever. No.
Okay.
That would be
That's-
super cool.
That's smarter than what I did. God damn it.
I am high key writing that down in notes to put that.
I
in
was
the
just like,
dungeon
what if
later.
these 3 things are not even things? They're just other dudes and everyone's just cursed to see.
Didn't that happen in Dungeon Mesh?
It did happen in Dungeon Meshi. Yeah,
Neat.
it did.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Ulrith has felt very Dungeon Meshi.
Listen, that's just because it's a dungeon.
Okay,
it's a dungeon. It's the dungeon. The
Right.
big one.
Okay, well, do we need to all go in the one side? It feels bad that we're not. I can't.
Well, let
see
me
you.
ask this question. So
What are we
there's the
doing
door-
in here?
Right, there's the door you just walked in. There's the other door that everybody else walked in. Are there any other
Yeah.
doors in there?
Yeah.
There might be one
I
at the
see any
back here
doors?
that I really want to go check on.
I'm a
Yeah,
little
there
afraid
is.
to go through your door back into the room we came from.
I mean, there's another door here. Do you want me to just watch your back and we can check it out?
I walk back into the into the room with the inks and Ovius. We should probably go around. It
Okay.
feels like it's not a good idea for us to. Well,
All right. Well,
You want to keep you?
I think I'm going to call my valet and have him open that door at the other end of the room.
Call your
Okay,
valet.
I'll keep an eye on this side of the door. In the room.
I mean, I can just walk over there.
No, you
I feel like I should walk over there. I kind of want to walk over there.
somebody should probably keep an wait over where?
Right here.
Door.
Where is here?
I'm just gonna open this door.
I'm at the other door.
Do you
Um,
g-
as you were approaching
Look,
the door,
there's a magical compunction. I'm opening the door.
yeah, you feel the tunnel vision begin to kind of close in, and as you are approaching this door, Toric, you see in the corners of your eyes something moving in a circle, just sort of slowly closing in what feels like on your vision. You feel like you are being forced forward. Um, and you see this door ahead of you that you go to open.
Yep.
Okay, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
You've got a +4.
Nice.
Um,
I'm.
Up.
Look, go ahead.
Mhm. Did you have
I
something?
was gonna say, let me know
Oh.
if anything weird happens in the room from the other side, because I didn't cross back over, so I'm in the room by myself ostensibly.
Yes,
So if
and you
anything
are
happens,
standing right there. Thank you.
yes,
Okay.
I am.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
In the
Incredible.
middle of
Huh.
the statues, huh?
Yes.
Toric, when
Mhm.
you put your hand upon the door, you feel that presence that is closing in from within your skull clench down and try to fold its talons over your eyes. And you feel something within your head start to pound and push. And for a moment, there is clarity where you are completely in understanding of the building that you are in. It's a mouthpiece, it is a space to allow for something to be formulated and then exhaled. There is knowledge within this building itself that is designed to be given to others. And the folks that are already in this room, they don't understand it yet. They don't see or feel the comfort that comes with being within something as powerful as this bubble of this building is. Um, and right as that clarity is beginning to settle in, and you're starting to feel the comfort of being home, you hear a shriek as Haza, stepping into this space as close to the pillars you are, and in the configuration you have stepped, the creature beside you shrieks, begging for help, and it throws its entire body onto you with an 18 to hit.
That'll miss.
Okay,
I
you are
managed to get the shield up.
yeah, you feel the body of this thing, all of its limbs extend outwards like a great open hand that tries to close around you and hold it in the fist that is its own body. But with your shield up, you push it away. We are going to roll into initiative. And Toric, you suffer no ill effects due to your save.
I am already screaming.
Mhm.
It's
I
just
would
an
almost say
involuntary shriek.
I almost said you hear Haza scream, but I didn't want to put those words in your mouth.
Yeah, like that's a completely involuntary, like everything went from very still to very not. This sort of shriek.
The scream of getting actually scared.
Yeah, no.
Becoming frightened.
He's fucking
The
necromorph
jump
looking.
scare startle. Yeah, they
Torek,
do.
you,
They go for the limbs.
Torek,
Yeah.
you are first with your hand on the door.
Hey, wait, no, this is wrong. This is back out, back out, back out. Haza, I'm coming.
It's going back. Their whole body's like a hand.
20 feet. 30 feet, and I will shoot at the one that is. Actually, I will go and run next to Haze with my last 10 feet
Well,
of movement.
You won't know where I am. You'd be able to hear.
Oh,
where
that's
I am.
right. I can't see.
I'm
you.
on the.
Yeah.
So you probably do see a weird effect of like one of them like reeling back, right? Because it just
That's what I was
hit
gonna
me and
say. You can't tell where Haza is, but
Yeah.
there is. While the other two are
Okay.
becoming frantic, there is certainly one that is
one jumped me.
enduring something.
Okay, well, to be honest, the real reason I wanted to move here is that puts me within 10 feet of all of them.
That's
to use-
reasonable to me.
To
Yeah,
use
yeah.
my last draconic roar, I hate this place already.
Do I?
It tried to mess with my mind.
To be clear, do I hear this as if it's coming from directly next to me, or do I hear it like reverberate through the?
I feel like
chamber
it's
above?
kind of in the building with,
So
that breathing that you're all
Yeah,
hearing
that-
and feeling.
Freaks me the fuck out. Considering fucking there went from a yell to suddenly a huge roar right next to me. Disembodied roar.
A call to action.
Yeah.
I will start shooting at the one that I'm seeing reeling because that's the only one that stands out.
Mhm.
I can't see Haza, but I see one acting the most weird.
I'm trying to think if I should have a mechanic for the melee aspect of this. Yeah, let's do like, oh, luck check feels very unfair. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Just go.
Okay.
If she were like directly in front of you, between you and the monster, then we'd have another thing to say, I think. But for right now, I think you're fine.
Okay. That's a 20.
20 will hit.
And how to use roll 20 somehow? And assuming it's standing, I'm just keep going.
Yes. Yeah. All right, that'll hit too. All right, you hear it shriek as it is impacted. It doesn't seem to be squirting blood or anything, but you hear something wet and thick dripping onto the floor.
I was expecting sand like the guy from
Nope, that should
Hellboy.
have been an advantage.
That'd have been cool.
Yeah, just a bunch of
These
sand.
things are
flies
yuckier.
back.
Oof. Both of those are bad, so I'm going to go
Wow.
ahead and use a point of inspiration.
Sure thing.
Ooh.
Okay,
Oh
well,
god.
Oh
a
no.
2, a 1, and a 2. That will misfire. You know what? I'll just spend another inspiration. I've got a couple. Come on. Okay.
Hey,
All right.
Worth it. Worth it.
Sure.
Very,
Look,
very
this is,
worth it.
This is super average, super normal.
I love
Just
it.
Run it up. Blam, blam. Click, click, click. No. Jammed it on the ground. Smacking it a few times. No, come on, not now.
Blow into it.
Whacking the buttstock against the ground and just hitting the floor.
Oof,
Oh.
not great
Ooh.
damage.
Yee.
But you know what? Better than my gun misfiring. That is still 17 on the last
Absolutely.
hit.
Yeah, that is solid. Okay. All right. All right. In the darkness, you see that they have a little bit of strength to them, but you are still wildly abusing this creature. Anything else for your turn?
No, that was all my movement, my bonus action, and my action.
Brilliant. Okay. Godric. You are muted.
I'm gonna zip zap over here because I want to get in the action.
Okay.
And then I will stab this one right here. Swipe at it with the halberd.
Okay, you have advantage.
Okay.
That will hit.
That's too
Jeez.
much. It is only 7 and 8. So
Okay.
7 and 8 radiant.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else? I would hope so.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit, a little. Another attack.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct now.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's fucking not.
Okay.
It's not rolling a die for my slashing damage. It's just giving me a straight 1.
Huh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Cool.
it sure is.
It's done this
Wow.
before. I don't know why. How much damage is a halberd supposed to do?
10. I think.
Mhm.
No, that can't be right.
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah, D10 same as the
yeah,
glaive.
D10.
Oh, okay.
okay. Okay. Well,
That's weird.
Damn.
yeah.
Mm.
Anyways, there's a 10 and a 15.
Okay. Okay.
All right, bonus action. I'll throw up my flying shield, and that's it.
Okay, perfect. Inks, you're up.
All right, I will attack the same one Godric is.
Okay.
Here we go.
28's a hit.
9.
That'll hit.
Hey. Thanks, Tori.
Okay.
Flurry blows.
Okay. That will hit.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, okay.
And then
Also
this is the
hit.
one I will throw the hand of harm on.
Sweet.
Bam.
Okay. Alright, and that is necrotic damage. Okay.
And he is now poisoned unless he's immune to that condition.
He is not.
Tight.
Alright.
That's it.
Okay. Ulvius.
All right. Elvius will come running into the room upon hearing the screaming. Oh boy. And I am going to target this creature and this creature. Tasha's Mind Whip, which I can target 2 creatures with thanks to split enchant.
Oh. Hello, hello. Sweet. Okay, okay. Alright. It's been a hot second since I've seen this spell, so let's see. One rolled a 13, one rolled a 17, so the one who's up here failed and
Okay.
takes the full damage
Mhm.
and then has the restricted actions.
And that is it for Elvius.
Okay. Did it take half damage on the save? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Half damage on the
Oh.
save, no restriction.
right. Okay. Okay. Athena comes up a little bit and pokes her head through the door and says, "Hey, you need some more help, or do you want me to just wait this one out?" She'll direct that question right at Olvius.
Well, it's awfully nice of you to ask, but my favor's been used up already, so I guess you're going to have to make that call on your own.
Okay. I'll wait. And she takes a step back and will wait to be asked if you guys want her to join the combat. Um,
Mel, you're up.
Oh, real bummer that these things aren't undead, huh? Although, or weapon attacks you. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and walk up to this one right here and give a little bit of a corpse layer. Bonk.
The 28 will hit.
A little bit of a
Oh, they
bonk.
have advantage? That's
Yeah,
right.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we got that roar.
And also it has Divine Strike because it's my first weapon
Mhm.
attack.
Crunch. Ouch.
Crunch.
Oh. Ow, that is devastating.
And if I may, I'm going to cast everybody's favorite little guy, a little fun little dude at 4th level.
Okay.
Like right behind this guy and take a swing with a
All right.
26.
Yeah. You
High
feel some
spiritual weapon.
resistance trying to summon this force into this place, but it does conjure. It doesn't actually prevent you from casting the spell.
It feels icky though. Oh, right. 4. Submit. Bye-bye. Oh, sorry. Ignore the first 8, but it is the 8, 13
Yeah.
force.
And it was this one, right?
God.
It was the one that I was hitting in the
Oh,
beginning.
okay.
This guy right here.
In that case, the Echo of Corpse Slayer conjures itself as a full weight on top of this body, and it is crushed. You hear the bones, the many frail bones shattering, and feel a heavy, thick, wet substance hit the ground as this body splatters. Anything else for your turn?
May your soul find rest. Pass turn.
The two that remain, the one you have struck, Ulvius, is shrieking and rolling its head on its shoulders side to side and encroaches upon you, but can do nothing else. The one scrabbling all appendages at Haza is still desperate to grasp her.
Sure.
That is a 19 to hit.
It'll miss.
Oh fuck.
Just
Okay.
barely.
All right, and the second attack at 22.
Oh, that'll hit.
Okay. Finally, some of these limbs find purchase, and you feel yourself being speared once, twice, three times, and brought into this creature's tense embrace. Holy shit! Take 30 points of piercing damage and are grappled.
I'm going to use my interception to reduce that by a d10 plus a number that I don't remember.
Yeah.
So 6
Probably your level.
plus 4, so 10, reduced by 10. It's proficiency bonus.
Brilliant.
It was
Yeah.
33
It
total.
was total of 30.
Okay, so to 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
And while you are like this close to it, you hear a murmuring voice like inside its shell of a body. And you start to like feel your mind beginning to bend. It is your turn next. You are grappled.
Okay. Yeah, I got the sword. I just rammed the sword like straight out and up.
Fuck yeah.
Like at this point it's almost like, yeah, that hurt like shit, but the fact that this thing is still like kind of suffering.
Yeah.
Just ram the sword up. Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, okay, that's correct.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Is it have the +1 in there? Yes, it does.
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. It's still a cool fucking move.
Well,
Okay. At 13. All right. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
nope.
Okay. At the end of your turn, again, you feel like the bending, not only of like the walls as this building breathes around you, but the like rattling and echoing inside this creature's body. And you take an additional, oh, that is so many. 28 points of
Oh.
psychic damage.
Okay.
Also, I keep forgetting the update doesn't save when I say whisper my goddamn rolls. That's okay.
All of you could just hear faint, like, gurgling at this point as I'm fucking locked and getting mentally assaulted.
Which is echoing in the chamber from a place you guys cannot pinpoint.
Yeah, you could see it. The thing is clearly wrapped around something.
Yeah, but
It's got-
your maddening burbles have
Yeah.
joined the other odd bodily noises happening. Torik's turn.
Keep shooting at the same one I was shooting at.
Okay, I think now that it has Haza grappled, this would be the time to be considering whether this has an effect. And I think that the best way to kind of manage that is we can deal with it with mirror image rules. Is that okay?
Works for me.
Okay.
I no longer have advantage, and I am out of Draconic Roars.
Okay. Let me double check the mirror image rules. Let's see. Okay, so I'll have you roll a d20 first. And we'll just go with the rules for the one duplicate. You have to roll. Okay. All right. Okay, so that does mean you hit with a 9.
Okie doke.
Yep. Specifically, you hit the monster, not Haza. You have to roll below an 11.
Okay. I still
been
have
looking
no
at the
idea that this thing has Haza grappled, so I just
Yeah.
keep going.
Exactly, yeah. So it'll be another d20 for every. Okay, still good. That'll still hit. Okay. Okay, it is still alive. Okay.
Oh, there we go. I got you
Oh.
finally, Haza.
Yeah, you hear Haza scream.
Yeah, then you hear the scream.
Ow!
Considering you basically just shoot me in the back. Well, I'm gonna need a rest after this. Yeah, you hear a substantial amount of screaming after that.
Oh, that was starting to sound like Haza. That's weird.
Okay. Anything else for your turn, Torek?
No, that'll be it.
Okay. Godric.
Yes, I will. The one that's in front of us, that's close to Haza, is it look fairly wounded? I don't see Haza there actually, but
Yeah, you don't see Haza, but you do see this thing is oozing something from many bullet wounds, and
Okay.
and a sword wound actually.
Neat. Okay. Wonder where that sword wound came from. Well, I am going to attack it with my first attack. It's not at advantage, but it's still 21. 8 and 5.
Okay. Still up.
Okay, and then second attack.
Jesus.
Yep. that much.
All right, that one is slain
Sweet.
and drops off of your body, Haza.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna dash around over here. And bonus action pop.
28 will hit.
Haha.
Okay. All right, sounds like that's it for your turn.
Yes.
Okie dokie. Inks.
Hey, I will walk around this way and punch. Ooh, 14.
Will just miss.
Ah, fair enough. Oh, nope.
Up,
Clear your
set the
blows.
bar.
Yep.
Clear your blows or bonus action.
Wow.
Oh God.
Wow.
Ooh. Well, now you know where all the 20s are coming from.
Yep. And that's my shitty ass turn.
All right, sorry. All right, Olvius.
Oh, don't worry about this fella. He must have just smelled my tea. Do you want a cup? All you have to do is ask nicely.
Ah! Creepy. I don't think you can make this save. No. Okay. It is passively placated by you. I guess that means initiative ends pretty much until you move, huh?
I mean, I'll say, he's going to be out of it until I decide otherwise. If y'all, well, I don't know what you want to do. If you want to end it, I suggest y'all gather round and take your shots.
I don't know where anyone is, and I think there's a bullet in my back. Or it bounced off and it hurts.
Can you make it out the door you came in?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, we can drop initiative. Well, I'll leave it open in case we want to dogpile and kill this thing, because then we can do it one at a
Yeah.
time. Is that what is happening?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna kill this thing.
Okay.
As Haza comes stumbling in, like coughing up blood, like 5 puncture marks in me, like holding the small of my back.
Okay, that leaves Mel next. Oh fuck, actually this might, you know what? We'll do this the smart way. Obviously, you guys get the jump on it, so let's do,
Okay.
what the fuck is my fucking initiative?
Just everyone stab at the same time.
And we'll start with Haza if you are attacking,
Well, I think
unless you're just chilling. Oh,
I
yeah?
think the first attack would be at advantage because it's stunned, but it breaks after the first. I think that's the way it works.
Right.
It breaks after the first.
Charmed by you to the end of the turn. There, it is incapacitated and visibly dazed. Okay, so yes, so you can choose who you'd like to strike first to get that advantage.
It's not gonna be me. I got one. I got one hand trying to feel if there's a bullet in my back.
I don't. I'll look at Godric and I'll look at Inks. Look at Godric and I'll look at Inks. Well, I don't want to start a lover's quarrel. Perhaps you two should discuss and decide who wants to take the first shot.
It's all yours, Inks.
Nah. Let's try again.
Redemption cycle. Ooh,
Yeah,
yes.
18. Nice.
Do you want to try to stun it?
No, I'm not gonna waste any more key points on this thing.
Okay, sounds good. I was like, it'd be cool.
That's my turn.
Okay, I mean, that still fucking rocks this thing's shit. Okay, ouch. All right. Then I'll just go back through initiative. Is that okay?
That
Sure.
worked because
Okay.
I'm not focusing on the thing at all
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, tapped. So Torek, you'll be next. Oh, Ted, you there? Oh, there's your 18 is a hit. Okay.
Ow.
All right. Do you want to take another shot? Sweet.
Oh, I wasn't muted this whole time.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
Wasn't working.
Okay. All right. Is that it?
I would get a third attack if it's a full attack action.
Oh yes, yes, yeah. Full attack. I'm happy for you guys. Oh my god, there it is. Ugh. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
No, that's it.
All right. Dandy. Godric.
Ba-boom. Ba-boom.
Okay,
Boom.
okay. Oh god, okay. Oh, that radiant damage is doing some legwork. Okay, let's
Mhm.
see. Okay, minus. And oh, that might have been it. Oh fuck! How do you and Torek do this together?
I mean, honestly, I don't think it looks super cool. I'm sorry, Torek, but like this thing is just standing still, and then suddenly it's massacre.
Okay,
It
yeah.
happens very quickly. There's not a whole lot of flair, I think.
Yeah, just efficacy.
Mhm.
All right, I'll take that. I'm happy with that. And that'll be combat.
Way to
Yay!
go,
And my
gang.
monsters got to do everything that they're capable of doing. Once.
It's better than no times, right?
Uh-huh, because that's happened, and recently.
Yeah, I
Torek,
get you.
Torek, can you...
Everybody out! Everybody out! This place, it's going to try to eat you and turn you into one of
Okay.
those things. Everybody get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Mel, get out! Get away from the door!
Okay.
Torek,
Sure.
can you check my back?
No, actually I can't, because I can't fucking see you.
No.
Oh, you can see her now.
Oh,
Up
now I
here
can
now.
see you.
Yeah. Yeah, she came
think-
back
Yeah.
through the.
I think you
I think she walked out and around.
I think
Yeah,
you
there you go.
shot me in the back. Just make sure it's out.
Well, just don't be invisible next time, or get grabbed.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some good news for you, Haza. Your back look equally as bad as your front.
Okay. Yes.
That
Cough up
sounds like
some
an
more
entry
blood.
and an exit wound.
That's really funny.
Mhm.
It's good to
Well, I mean,
laugh
it's
about it when it happened.
I mean, it's good news that there's not a piece of shot still left in you.
Haza slowly slumps to the floor. Okay.
Sorry, I got distracted. What are you guys doing?
Good question. That's a good question.
Oh, great. Glad that I'm not missing it.
Do we think we need to take a rest, or Hazel looks pretty hurt. I don't have much healing capability.
Uh, Mel will like root around in her bag and produce a potion of healing.
Save it. I'm good.
Yeah, you look great.
I think it's only 4 punctures holes. Well, not counting the bullet.
Why would you not count the bullet?
Why would you not
Well,
count the bullet?
Because
I feel like the
he,
bullet's probably the most important one.
because he didn't mean it. It was
Oh, that's
an
sweet.
accident.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah, but-
sweet, but it doesn't mean that you don't have a hole through you.
It's
Haza came
it's-
this close to being Charles Xavier.
okay. If I could just nap it off, napping would fix the bleeding. Usually, napping will
I
fix
mean-
at least 2 contusions.
I don't think that that's
Don't worry, it will. I just gotta nap it. Just nap it off.
I hate that you sound like me in real life.
Well,
I just slump blood down the wall as I like put my back to the wall.
We should probably take a bit longer of a rest. I don't have any. I'm a little tapped out of spells.
Nope, just a power nap, and I'll be good to go.
Haza,
of-
we have been running on power naps for quite some time now.
That's right. Most efficient way to do it.
Certainly not. A good rest and food is very important, and that's not the way to do it.
Okay, now do I need to get back up so we can go back to the talking room, the answers room?
I am going to.
I'd like to be away from the misty screaming room.
I am going to like offer my hand for you to get up.
while you're on the ground, Haza, with your head against the stone,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of just feel, you know how like when you're running hot and you put your back against something cold
Yep.
and it feels really nice. You're feeling that, but like deep in your chest, wanting to kind of just ebb into the stone.
Yeah, grab my hand and then I'll open my eyes.
Yeah.
Have you guys tried leaning up against the walls? It's
Mel is going
pretty
to
good.
cast Cure Wounds at 4th level on Haza. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Ignore
I
the
don't
necrotic.
think Mel
It's
is a very good
14.
healer.
Okay, I
Why
think
is there necrotic damage in there?
There isn't supposed to be. That's from my Divine Strike macro, but it is very funny that it is there. It like slightly burns a
Right, I
little
do
bit.
like the idea that like every healing spell you cast, there's a tiny little bit of damage snuck in there too. Like you just can't help it.
yeah, in lieu of like
I didn't mean it.
yeah, Hazel like bolts to her fucking feet. Like eyes suddenly open wild for a second. Ow! Ow!
What do you mean?
You
I
made
mean,
it hurt all at once. Again.
That's okay. That's kind of the thing with fast healing. I can make it hurt. I can make
It's
it hurt
good.
less.
I think you healed all of them just a little and not enough.
Hey, buddy,
She
let's,
like
let's go
rolls.
in that other
She
room and
rolls
get you a
her
cup of
eyes.
tea.
She rolls her eyes and like just puts another healing word at 4th level. Or sorry, cure wounds at 4th level. Oh my god.
And it kills him.
What? Does that feel better?
Okay, one of them definitely cleared up. Okay, it's a little yeah. I'm getting there. That
You know what would make this a lot easier? Is if I had a longer rest and better spells.
yeah. Okay, point taken. Longer rest time it is. Holy shit, I got stabbed so many times so quickly. I got stabbed like fucking 8 times faster than I could breathe.
Yeah, you did
And
look
got
like you were
shot.
going into shock on the wall there.
It's fine. I haven't had a much worse. I've had worse, but more spread out. That was pretty bad all at once.
You get used. Yeah, that's right. He's got petrified, not paralyzed.
You're right.
There's a big difference there.
Well, at least I can breathe now, which is good. That's a good development. Thank you for that.
So, where are we going exactly? Because there's not much this way. It's just more doors. Or the
Well,
same building.
if we want to rest, Answer's room at least has a door and answers.
I mean, the big mural doesn't bug you any.
No. Should it?
Uh, depends on what kind of implications that iconography is lending itself towards, but who knows? It's probably fine.
Okay, so we just won't look at it.
It is kind of around the whole room.
Okay, so do you want to relax in the hallway then? Is that the
Max, can we like, if we're trying to find a place to long rest, can we just kind of like scan the area for something that maybe isn't on this map necessarily, but just like
Yeah.
an empty building that we
Yes.
can crash in?
Yeah.
Yes, most definitely.
Wonderful.
There is no shortage of
Thank you,
places
Maggie.
to rest, but there's no telling if something may wander by. But that will always be the case.
So yeah, we'll just shack up somewhere that we can, kind of all be in a large enclosed space and
Yeah,
see
we can
all the
keep all your-
entries.
Watch.
Yeah, we can keep all of your tokens in like this little spot here, since the players know that this spot is safe. But yeah, you can adventure after a long rest. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Is there anything anyone wishes to do or discuss in your long rest as you're preparing?
Olvius is going to undertake a little experiment. He is going to pour out a little bit of his tea and sprinkle some Chardonnay into it and continue to try and sprinkle the right amount to get the right consistency. He's going to then dip his thread into it because he is trying to create a magical dye that he can use to in lieu of magical ink for like copying spells from a spell. Because I
Fuck
don't
yeah,
think
dude.
Whoa.
I don't think I'm
Yeah.
going to be getting my hands on ink anytime soon.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing.
Somehow
Yes.
you describe I could literally like visualize it. That was
Yeah.
fucking
Me too.
that's so
And you know
cool.
what? You know what? This visualized better to me what magic ink would have been in the first place.
Cool.
Yeah, no, that's
So-
perfect. Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Ah.
So if that's the case, he is then going to spend yeah, I guess he's going to spend the first 2 hours of the rest copying a spell out of the spell book he found way back in the tunnels before we went through the portal and everything.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dandy. That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah. So he is going
Fucking
to be
kick-ass
working.
idea.
He is going to be working on comprehend language. Seems like that is just
sounds
growing increasingly important.
Yeah, well.
Well, awesome. I
And
would
so-
say take inspiration, but you literally just gained a boon, so I'm just gonna let you have your boon.
Great. And so what people see is he spends most of that 2 hours with an embroidery loop and a clean, pristine handkerchief that he is looking at the spell book and embroidering the words into this piece of cloth. And then the last, 20 minutes or so, you see he takes his cloak off and he
like flips open this inner lining, and you see underneath that inner lining are all these bits of cloth that all have different spells embroidered into them, and he's now stitching this new comprehend language spell into the lining of his cloak.
Oh, it's so cool.
Oh.
Oh, that rips.
Best spell book.
I think, especially given the highly tactile nature of the thing you are doing, you kind of have Athena's attention. She would kind of wander over to observe what you are doing, in what looks like its mundane
Are
but
you?
peculiar nature.
Yeah. Are you interested in this?
I'm very interested in to see what you're doing.
I'll just narrate the process as I'm going through it. I will also offer her a cup of tea.
Oh, that
and,
she takes for sure.
right, and make a point of saying, no Chardonnay in this one.
Oh, good. They were saying that was rocks.
Yeah, I believe it is. Does make a very fine ink, though.
She watches you for the entire process, and you can tell as you are watching, she, while obviously an arcane creature, has very little comprehension of the scientific nature of weave use, you know. This is very fascinating to her from an outside perspective.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything else anyone is doing?
I'm just gonna hit my Fey Tales book.
Ooh, you ready for another one?
Yeah, I think this time I'm rolling back to like just the creation myth again. Like
Okay.
we'd gotten broad strokes of it, but it
All
feels like
right.
the best place to start because it is related to some of the other stuff on that front we're dealing with.
It is. And now I've got to find where I put that one.
Look, I did it at the end of session, figuring like this is gonna be one that if you wanted to, you could just shotgun it to me before next time, and I'll read it.
Yeah, I might have to do that because
Fine.
I'm concerned now that I didn't categorize it correctly and I'm going to have to hunt for it.
Like I did it at the end for a reason.
Yeah, but I know that I wrote it because I remember how it opens and I was really happy with it. So I'll send it to you later. Anything else for the evening?
Nothing for the evening. I do have something for the morning.
Okay, let's. Well, I guess we should. Anything else for the evening then?
I am changing my spells, but other than that, no.
Okay. All right. Then, Ulvius, what do you do in the morning?
Yeah, in the morning, I'd spend 10 minutes and I cast comprehend languages. And the first thing I do is check that pamphlet that I just pulled out of the glass jar.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can read that.
Yes, you can now. It is in fact an operations manual for what is called the Warden of the Compendium. Someone who is supposed to be the facilitator of the operation of the device. You get an understanding that there are every few blocks structured within Ularith a couple of these port accesses, the gargoyle heads, that are free access for citizens of Ularith. Anyone can make use of them provided they're allowed to communicate with, provided they can communicate with them. It is a log of all verbal, visual, and literal history and information that they are possibly capable of getting. So, one of the primary functions of the warden is to be someone who is constantly inputting literal information. So, someone sits there every day and reads books to the compendium.
Cool. Yeah, I'll share that with Torek as Torek expressed interest earlier.
So does it also have so is it monitoring like episodic stuff? Like is it looking at like what's happening, or is it purely semantic? Meaning like it's purely what is fed into it. It is not monitoring the events of this place.
Not in any other way besides being present and observational for them. Because like you got a couple of clips from effectively like
True.
different portals
Oh, right. Yeah,
perspectives
that
of
answers
things
my
occurring.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
has
they are stationary. They
Yeah.
also aren't per chance like hardwire memorizing every detail. But only things that clearly have links to other things occurring. Kind of like how earlier it was able to kind of subject matter bind a couple of things together for Toric. It can tell when someone who has dropped a loaf of bread in the road is probably not as important as two people simultaneously and in an event dropping like dropping something in the middle of the road. Does that make sense?
Yeah, or if you asked it to compile the average reasons why somebody dropped a piece of bread, then it would
Sure,
be able
yeah.
to compile all of the instances it saw.
Oh my god!
It is a computer. It's just not particularly like smart necessarily.
I apologize. I know this will be a very specific reference, but oh, great! So it generates like a dwarf fortress history of everything that's gone on in Ulrith.
You got one giggle.
Yep.
Also,
Interesting.
while comprehend language is still up, the second thing that I will use it on is I will take out that jackass Mind Flayers spell book and figure out what knowledge I can gain from that.
Hell
asshole.
yeah.
Yes. So for his spell book, you'll still have to read it the same way you have to read all Illithid language
Mhm.
by like contact, but that would have happened anyway with comprehend languages.
Yep.
You can make use of his spell book. Have I given you the list of those spells?
Nope. Couldn't read it
Okay.
before. And like
Right.
if you're still working on it or whatever, like you can just give it to me whenever. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have it, but probably not written down
No worries.
conveniently. So
Yeah, no worries.
I'll get both of those things to you guys this week.
Is it for Olvius?
Okay. Anything else, folks? All right, and I think that is a dandy place to end the session.